detailed breakdown of the previous post. Again, I'm gonna have this in 3 different levels: green, yellow, and red. At each level, I'm gonna be looking for a little bit more, this being the most basic. So this is more of like a screen. It's a simple yes, no. If you're good, move on. If it's no, it's something to work. I'm gonna give you guys something to work on. So again, we're looking for 4 things. I have in the highlights section of the stories on my Instagram page of the NRRL, of the do-it-yourself, of how to set up the video, because you are gonna be required to do a side and a back view. For this, I have it that you don't have to really freeze frame it on exact positions. We are going to get a little bit more into that later on with the yellow and with the red. With here, I have a design that you don't need any fancy software. You just need your phone, record it in slow motion. And then when you are playing it back or analyzing, either with yourself or with somebody else, we're going to be drawing some lines. You can either just take a pen, a paper, and just see, do things match up? Are things parallel? And you'll kind of see what I mean when the time comes right. So you can get some of the software. You do not have to. The most at this level is going to be line drawing. That's it, in slow motion. So without further ado, number 1, to look for overstriding screen, I want to see, do the knees never lock out in front? In the past, I've measured angles, drawn things, and we're going to get a little bit more into that later on, but this is a screen. It's simply, are you locking your knees out? If you are going to see the point where your knee is all the way straight and locked out, anywhere in the front of your stride, you don't pass this part of it, because the chances of you overstriding with your knee being locked out is high. So we'll have later on in the treatments of how to kind of correct for that. But this is the reason for that. Knee is never locked out in the front. Look at, still from this side position, is wrists are always below the elbows. So the reason for this is, instead of measuring vertical displacement, how high up and down, we talk about running is about going forward, not side to side, not up and down. Your arms are a window. You're gonna have a hard time finding somebody that is doing the up and down, too much vertical displacement, with their arms, their wrists staying below their elbows the whole time. Most time when people do the up part, their wrists are gonna go higher than their elbows. So this is a great quick screen to see if they're parallel. That's not passing, it's always below. And the reason for that is we want that slight forward lean, and so my wrist should always be slightly below. If it's parallel or above, you don't pass that part of this, and we're gonna have some corrections later on for how to fix this. So again, the reason for this is to prevent too much of this up and down and more gliding forward. Number 2. So the third one that we're going to be looking for is still in this side position, and it has to do with posture. I'm going to do a separate post all about posture, because some of you, I can't ask you to have good posture if you don't really know what good posture is just in standing alone versus with running. So for this screen, it's just, I'm going to pause it, or I can just kind of look at it throughout, make a box. I can take a piece of paper and put a line, and I want to see, do I fall just slightly forward in front of that line? And am I in neutral? Am I rounded forward? Am I too far back? I want this neutral spine just slightly forward, and that's going to give us our good posture. Another thing that we're going to be looking at is the only thing from the back view, and we're looking for crossing midline. The easiest way to do this is to take a piece of paper over your phone, and you're looking at your sacrum, and pretty much where your butt crack is, let's not sugarcoat it, right over your butt crack. If you draw an imaginary line down in front, make sure I'm not crossing over. That foot should not disappear. If you are crossing over, you're probably weaving. That is a potential for injury, and we'll go on later for in the correctives. Is it a mobility issue, a stability, or a technique? Could it be weakness? Could it be purely a technique? We'll find that out later. But again, in order to pass this criteria, I have to make sure that I'm not crossing over that midline position at any point on either side.